Is it going to be a messy affair for Mr. Carney today?
I think he's going to have some difficulty insofar as he has very clearly now said that we are going to have to be expecting interest rate hikes of around 1.75% over the next 3 years. Now, of course, the earlier he goes, the less he will have to tighten as the cycle goes on. And therefore, I suspect he will be minded to tighten in November rather than waiting till next year, which still remains the consensus view.
Has he U-turned, James?
How, sorry?
Has he made a U-turn?
No, absolutely not. He's always said that his policy is predicated on an expectation of what's going on in the UK economy, and he did begin by anticipating that labour markets would provide the best window, and that clearly turned out not to be the case because of the data. But nobody really knows what is the sustainable growth rate of the UK economy, so he's looking at a whole range of indicators, which necessarily will include wage inflation, headline inflation, and other issues connected with spare capacity within the economy.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. I see in your note you make some comments on Abenomics, moving in the right direction despite the lack of news on the third arrow. What do you think of the latest news now from Japan?
Well, I think this is good news, but it's a lot of talk and not yet much walk, and we have to see some real action, principally, in fact, by Japanese companies who remain remarkably shareholder unfriendly. They're not focused on increasing return on equity. And if you said to me, what would be the dream come true for investors in Japan's stock market, it would actually be companies saying, we are going to be really focused on growing profitability rather than in maintaining revenues, market share, and our workforce.
ECB's actions, as you say, are supporting equities, even as the outlook for earnings growth is challenged. So on the equity side, Europe and Japan over US is what you're saying?
Absolutely. I do think that the US has had its time, and we will now be looking for tightening in the US. Obviously, QE will likely run out in the fourth quarter if we join the dots on the current rate. Mrs. Yellen has made it clear she's not going to tighten anytime soon. But, of course, US companies have had a one-off benefit from shale gas, a lot of those benefits that are expected to unwind in the years ahead. And they have rampant profitability, I mean, to die for, but it really isn't very sustainable, I suspect. In contrast, Europe's been flat on its back, has plenty of opportunity now to report numbers that positively surprise analysts and investors, and I'm very bullish.